Fit check. Fit check. My fit to go out and exercise my right to vote. Hi, I'm Saul Goodman. Did you know that you have rights? Constitution says that you do. I can speak very well. It's voting day, in the UK. So, go vote. Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Skye, and today we're gonna do a little life update, get ready with me sort of situation. It is the 4th of July. In the UK, it's like election voting day, so we're gonna go to the local polling station after this. So I have a lot to update you guys about. Yeah, I have a lot of updates, so let's just jump right into it. Actually, before we start doing the base, I kind of want to decide what palette I'm going to use today. I've got 3 in my Shop My Stash. We have 2 from Haggard Cosmetics and 1 from Cheeryep makeup. So this is the Steel Heart palette. It is all cool toned. I'm kind of feeling... Am I feeling cool toned? I mean, we're wearing Greg's shirt today. Can I just say, his shirts are not very accommodating for big boobied bitches. It's offensive. It's not nice. I just want to be cute and wear my boyfriend's clothes. But no, I have to have hongly donglies that cause gapping, and you can see my breasts. This is an odd way to start Get Ready With Me. Can you tell I'm excited to film? I haven't filmed in so long. We'll talk about why in a bit. And then the Haggard palettes, we have the Ragnarok, which is like a cool toned gold sort of sitch. And then we've got the Ecstasy of Saintus from Haggard as well, which is all pinky. Do I actually want to use these palettes today? You know what, we're gonna go rogue. We're not gonna use the Shop My Stash palettes. Honestly, I think I'm gonna do a super simple look today, and we're gonna be using the Glaminatrix Glittering Creatures Volume 3 bundle. Probably use one of these. Just feeling simple today. Anyway, let's get started actually. Let's put on some makeup on this face. Ow. So yeah, how have you guys been? It's been an interesting couple of months for me. Let's start talking about... I guess let's start off with like the main thing. So I mentioned in my last video, I was getting ready to hand in some documents to the vet job that I got. So I work at a vet's once a week, and I do that alongside working my retail job. Funnily enough, I actually got promoted at my retail job. I am now a supervisor at the job, which I was basically doing that role anyway, but here we go. We're finally getting paid for it. Let's go, baby. It's not that much considering what we have to deal with. And I remember saying in the last Get Ready With Me that I kind of thought that having 2 jobs would be both a good thing and also very bad. Good in terms of like finances and getting experience and kind of leading my way out to get out of retail, but bad in the sense of, oh my god, I am working 2 jobs as a disabled autistic person, how the fuck am I gonna function? And, yeah. I work at the vet's once a week, but I do, like, pick up extra shifts here and there, so sometimes I work twice a week, and I've been doing some intense work weeks. In, like, was it June or May? One of the 2. I did a couple of 7-day work weeks. Now, don't do that. Don't do that, please. One thing that I've kind of needed to learn more so is that I need to listen to my body more. I've been getting better at it with like certain things, but others it's really difficult, especially because I deal with chronic pain and obviously like all the mental stuff as well. That comes along with chronic pain and also other like mental illnesses. It's really difficult to actually listen to yourself because I have really bad fear of missing out. I don't like missing out on friend events. I like to be there for people. Like, I desperately, like, always want to be the person that people rely on and that sort of thing. And it's been really fucking difficult lately trying to balance. I was already having a hard time balancing work with, like, social life, me time, chores, relationship, everything. Add another job into the mix and it's completely... God. But I am trying to get better. Thankfully, I have set some boundaries with my retail job. Like, I have said explicitly the hours that I want to work and how I will not go over that unless it's absolutely, like, unless it's absolutely desperate. We are kind of understaffed at the moment, so, and have been for a couple months, so that's why it's been a bit hectic, but hopefully that's gonna change in the summer. But with all of that being said, I want to talk about the vet job. So I work as a receptionist, like once a week at a vet clinic, and oh my fucking god, I love the job. I absolutely love the job. It is a lot more mentally, like, I wouldn't, what's the word? It's a lot more like mental work rather than physical work. But I remember being a kid always thinking that I wanted to work with animals in some capacity, if not work with them, at the very least like foster and have a fuck ton of animals. And truly working at the vets has really made me realize I need to be working with animals. Like, it's been so lovely. Like, I have been, you know, doing reception jobs, like organizing appointments, making sure the vets are on track with things. I help out the vets and nurses with other things, like dispensing medications, all of that stuff. And it's just so fucking rewarding. It can be quite a lot because you do deal with a lot of the negatives, obviously because you work at a vet's, a lot of bad stuff happens. But like, anytime I'm there, I get excited to go into work. I feel the need to be there, and like, I don't want to leave. And my my manager, the head receptionist, she's the deputy manager that I report to, in my 8-week review, because I did tell her, I was like, look, I would really love to work here full time eventually. If there's any spots opening up, I want to be like the first to put my hat in the ring. And she did tell me that when a spot opens up, I was gonna be the first call anyway. So it's made me think of working potentially with animals, like, more closely, like getting a degree or at least doing a course in animal care. So maybe potentially I could become like a nurse or something. I have thought about it, and I think I'm just gonna go baby steps here and there, because I think working as a receptionist already is very fulfilling. By the way, I'm using the Rare Beauty like cream bronzer stick in the shade Power Boost. I've been testing this out in this rotation and I absolutely love this stuff. It is so nice. I love the undertone of it. Like, it's warm but not orange, and like, it blends so nicely, although I do have to make sure I don't set my base before I put it on. I mean, to be fair, I haven't tried it like with a set base yet, but I'm scared. So I've been in that like emotional state of if something in my makeup goes wrong, I will just start crying. And it's just such a nice colour, like, and that's so lovely. Gorgeous. I say that and I probably haven't blended it because I'm trying to stay in frame and not sit over here. It's the first ever cream bronzer I have tried, and it's just bloody lovely. It's very worth the price. Now for my blush, I'm gonna be using the two blushes in my Shop My Stash. This one actually wasn't in my Shop My Stash, I just added it like halfway in, but we're gonna use the Glaminatrix cheek and lip flush in the shade Petal, and I'm gonna be setting that with the Lottie London Ombre blush in the shade Serene. These were both sent in PR, and this is a great combo together. I really, really like it. But yeah, before we go any further, the two vet stories that I'm going to be sharing specifically are two that involve animal death, and I'm not going to go into too much detail, but if you don't want to hear that, skip to this timestamp on screen right now. I'll also put the timestamp in the description down below. If it's something that you don't want to hear, I won't go into too much detail, but it is something that, like, I experienced and I would like to talk about because it was just, it's quite a unique experience. So anyway, let's talk about it. So in my second week of working at the vets, so by this point I had done like many shifts at the vets. When I first started, I was basically, I did like a bunch of training shifts like before I went to like once a week just to make sure that I like understood the system and all of that. So this was my second week of working there, but at this point it was probably like my 5th shift at the vets. So this day we had a C-section come in. It was a French bulldog, needed to have a C-section. If you don't know, Frenchies, it sounds really mean saying this, but I don't agree with their existence. They are purely bred, like, when I'm talking about like purebred Frenchies, they have a slew of health problems, like probably more so than any other breed, and they're just really sad. Like, I don't really think that they should be bred and existed. If you're gonna be breeding Frenchies, I feel like they should be bred in a different way, like, but anyway, we're not talking about the ethics of breeding. But one of the many things with Frenchies is that they cannot give birth naturally. Their bodies are so short, and like, they cannot give birth naturally, especially if they have a litter of puppies. They can't. They have to have a C-section. It makes it all the more traumatizing for the actual dog. And a lot of complications can happen with a C-section for a Frenchie, more so than any other dog. So yeah, we had a C-section come in, and as a receptionist, you are asked sometimes, if you're comfortable, obviously, and I absolutely like wanted to get involved, with, you will help out with C-sections. So for an example, like, when the vets and the nurses take out the puppies, or like kittens, it's usually puppies, they don't really do C-sections on cats too often, but like they clean them up, you know, clamp the umbilical cord, and then they give you the puppy, and you have to basically like promote their breathing, like on their own. So essentially you have to hold them at like a 45-degree angle, kind of like angled like this, and you basically like in the towel you like rub their back quite firmly, like on their like lungs and stuff, to like get the circulation going, and then they can breathe on their own. It's pretty fucking cool, I must say. But yeah, so when I was waiting in the prep room for like the puppies to come out and stuff, and like we were just talking about it, so they did a ultrasound on this Frenchie, and she had, like, they saw about 4 to 5 puppies. Usually the ultrasounds are kind of, like, they're pretty accurate, but they can be wrong. This Frenchie had 8 puppies in her. So already, not great. And also I have to mention that the mother, this Frenchie, was 1 year and 3 months old. The youngest you should be breeding a dog, if you are going to be breeding, is 2. She was 1 year and 3 months. And also the owners didn't know her due date, which is... Like, bro, what do you mean you don't know her due date? You don't know? How do you not? She's your dog. Like, you should know these things. So yeah, already the whole situation was like a bit suspicious at best. But anyway, so we were given the puppies, and these puppies, I had the biggest one. It was that big. It was the size of my phone. That big. Its paws were literally like my nail, like the nail bed. They were so tiny. It had the smallest little face. They were so fucking cute. And with these puppies, they, like, we were trying to like revive them. We also like poked like their nostrils to kind of like clear out the gunk. And yes, some of them had taken their first breaths, but usually when they take their first breath, they will just start crying. Like, I mean, that's kind of what you expect. Some of them were breathing, but very, like, sparsely. One of them, like, quickly, like, passed away after it came out because it was the runt of the litter. You could tell, and by looking at it, like, it was very underdeveloped. And looking at an underdeveloped puppy, it's really fucking sad. I'm not gonna describe it. I don't think it's necessary, but you can Google it if you so wish. And then another puppy died a little bit afterwards, and it was the head receptionist's puppy that she was holding, and I'll never forget how she said, "I don't know why I'm trying, he just feels like jelly in my hands." Like cold jelly, which, fucking hell. Yeah, one of the vets who was like supervising the puppies, like in the prep room, there was another vet doing the C-section and like dealing with the mother. The other vet, like, he was giving them drugs and stuff to try and help him out, and then we were like, okay, we'll put them in a box of oxygen with a bunch of heat pads. We all had heat pads like on our laps as well to kind of warm them up, because we thought, okay, 2 of them have already died, but maybe some of them can make it. But by this point it was about 45 minutes and they weren't progressing the way that they should be. But we still held out hope, because you would. So then I went out on reception and I like helped out with a couple of bits, and then I came back in like maybe like 10 minutes later just to check on the puppies because I was obviously very fucking invested. And I saw one of the nurses with her head in her hands looking fucking distraught, and then I look to the head receptionist next to her and she says, none of them made it. All 8 of them died. All of them. Thankfully, the mother survived, but all of them died. And that is probably like the second worst scenario that could ever happen. Worst case scenario is all the puppies die and the mum. Or like the mum has serious complications. I think the mum was pretty okay considering. But yeah, that happened, and I remember they said like, the other vet staff there, they were like, man, what a first C-section that you had to deal with. That is like awful. And I was angry afterwards. Like, again, going through the stages of grief, because like it's so visceral when you're literally holding like a baby, like a puppy, that it didn't even get a chance to live. And it felt so unfair, especially considering the circumstances. I don't know if the dog's owners were breeders or not, but it sounded like they were. And also another reason why Frenchies are so expensive, they're really expensive dog breeds, in case you didn't know. One of the many reasons why they're so expensive is because they have a high mortality rate, so they don't even get like they don't even get like much of a chance during birth anyway. I still think about that day a lot. Like, it just hits different when it's a fucking baby, man. And the other story that I'm gonna be telling you, I have a couple other stories like similar, but this one is one that I was like directly involved in, and I don't want to spend the entire video talking about like sad animal stories, because honestly I have a lot more happy animal stories from the vets, but again, these are the ones that have been weighing on me like quite a lot. So this one was an emergency call that I took, and the lady on the phone said, my dog is foaming at the mouth and being very erratic. Which immediately we were like, fuck. I immediately told her, I was like, bring them in right now. Like, right now. We had like a really busy day, like on this day, and the vets were already like a little bit overwhelmed because we had another emergency come in, but thankfully it was an emergency, but it had like a good straightforward outcome, basically. But we had like a lot of difficult like clients and stuff. But anyway, so the vet who was going to be dealing with it was on her break, and I go into the office and I say to her, I'm like, look, I'm really sorry to bother you on your break, but we have a really serious emergency coming in like right now. And she was like, oh, okay, like what's the case? And I said, the dog was a lurcher. Lurcher foaming at the mouth, and her face immediately dropped because first thing we think of is rabies. So this dog obviously came through the back. We didn't want to expose anybody else, and it was in the isolation chamber, and like the vet did examinations. It was very, very busy, so I wasn't able to like keep a close eye on this dog. I'm gonna call this dog, we're gonna name them. We're gonna call this dog, I don't want to use their real name. We're gonna call it Jerry. So the vets did some scans and stuff to like have a look at what's going on. They found out that he had a massive aggressive tumor on his spleen, I believe. And this tumor was inoperable, and it caused him essentially to have a very severe seizure that made him like fucking like rabid and all of that. Thankfully he wasn't aggressive, but like he was erratic and all of that. But the vet said we can either give him medication to kind of manage his condition, but we cannot guarantee that he will be, you know, he won't have another episode like this again, because this was quite severe. Or the other option was to put him to sleep. And the owners made the really hard decision to put him to sleep. and they wanted to wait for their daughter to come back from work before they said goodbye to Jerry, so yeah, I offered to stay to help out the vet because she had a really difficult day, and she was like, you guys can all go home, like it's fine, like I can do with this like PTS and it'll be okay. But I did not, I fucking like refused to leave because I was like, I'm not letting you do this on your own. I don't want you to do this on your own. So I offered to stay. And also, like, I just, again, it sounds really cheesy, but I just felt this pull to stay. Even when, like, that C-section happened, even after, you know, the puppies didn't make it, I still wanted, I was like, I don't want to leave the building. Like, I want to, like, it felt wrong leaving, you know? So yeah, the family came in and it was really, really, it was really sad. Like, I saw, you know, all the drugs being prepared to put him to sleep. They were saying their goodbyes, and like the mother and the daughter did not want to be in the room while it was happening, which honestly I cannot blame them. Like that, I also probably wouldn't, especially because this was literally like within a few hours of them like finding out. It was, yeah. The dad did stay in the room and it was really emotional listening. I remember like I helped escort the dad out and, you know, gave my condolences and all of that. And I didn't really think about what I was going to be helping with. I just didn't think. But I just knew that, like, I was gonna help the vet. And then afterwards, like, we have, like, a moment to just, like, kind of sit there for a sec. And then she says to me, she's like, right, are you able to help bag up Jerry? And I was thinking, like, oh, that's what I'm gonna help with. It's not funny, I just have like a laugh whenever I'm uncomfortable. I laugh at everything, it's kind of bad. I helped bag a dead dog, and it was quite sad. But the worst part was, I kind of like shut off when it was happening, like I kind of like just went to no emotion sort of situation, because that's how I cope with things like this, just kind of like, let's get it done. But I looked at his face and he did not look asleep. He looked very dead. And that image of his face is still burned in my brain. And yeah, I had to help the vet carry him into the freezer. And you know when they say dead weight? Yeah, it's hefty, especially when it's a lurcher. The dead weight is really fucking hard to carry. Like, even the two of us were struggling. So yeah, we're gonna stop talking about the sad stuff. So if you skipped to this part, we have just done, you know, my freckles, cheek products, and we have primed my eyes, and we're ready to do my eye makeup. My freckle product is leaking because, I don't know why actually. So, it looks a little bit pooey. But yeah, with all of that being said, I really, really love the vets. Like, I cannot wait until I can be full-time. Like, it's just, this is something that I need to do, you know? And I feel like working 2 jobs, before we start talking about that, let's figure out what shade we're gonna use from the Glimmering Creatures Volume 3. Now, I don't really know. I'm kind of feeling, oh, should we do like a sharp, like, a sharp sort of, like, wing situation? Oh, fuck it, we're gonna do that. And I think I'm gonna use this shade. I believe this is Komodo. Are you Komodo? Am I lying to you? Let me double check. Yeah, Komodo, and I think I'm also gonna use Skink. Skink is one that I really love. But yeah, recently, like the past couple months, and also like, especially the past week and a bit, I have been like really struggling with executive dysfunction. Like, you know when there's just so much going on that you just end up doing nothing? It's kind of been like that. I've been really overwhelmed with that sort of thing, and like content creation has taken a back seat. Same with makeup. Like, I feel really sad because I feel like I didn't play with makeup enough. Like, makeup is kind of like where I sit down and I meditate and just like play. And I didn't really get much time to do that, and that made me really fucking sad. But I am actively, like, taking more time out of the day to sit down and play, because this is, like, so important for my mental health. And yeah, content creation has kind of taken a little bit of a backseat recently. I feel like if you follow me for a bit, I don't do this full time, obviously, I just kind of do it. I like to do it at least, like, post at least, like, once a week, twice a week if I'm feeling nasty. I love creating content. I love, like, sitting down in front of this camera and talking to you guys. I feel like we have such a beautiful community on here, same on Instagram. Like, I fucking love it here. I love it here! And not being able to connect with that has really taken a toll on me, but, you know, life happens. I just know that I'll always have this space to come back to, and sitting here just, not to be mushy, I am mushy. You know what, I need to stop apologising for being soppy, because I'm a Pisces. Of course I'm soppy. I'm just pretty grateful for this space. I'm really glad that I've got this little community where I can just kind of be myself and be silly. Okay, I'm gonna use Komodo as like the outer part and then Skink on the inner part, so that's what I'll be doing. I haven't actually used Komodo. I'm very excited to see what this looks like. It's very metallic. I'm first gonna stamp it on with my winged shadow brush to create the wing. Oh, that is stunning. Me when I do one line, that is stunning. Do you guys remember when Marc Jacobs Beauty had like a blush that was called Lines in Last Night? That was a lot. Marc, you need to not do that. And I remember beauty content creators being like, I love this blush, it's called Lines in Last Night. And I'm like, bro, do you know what that means? You're doing drugs. Not you, but the blush is doing drugs. The fucking Marc Jacobs blush in the bathroom stall. Looking ass. Does Marc Jacobs Beauty even exist anymore? I don't think it does. Did it close down? Oh yeah, I remember what I was gonna say. So, even though, like, I've kind of been, like, I've been overwhelmed with life and everything, I've kind of been a little bit overwhelmed with my makeup collection, and I feel like it's time to do another declutter. Is it a Skye Get Ready With Me without my catara? Hello? Thinking about animals too much, without my camera battery dying. So I finished up my eyes pretty much, so I kind of changed my pace a little bit. So I used the shade Komodo on the outside. The middle, I used the green shade. What's its name? Let me find it. I feel like it's like lizard or something. Has to be like lizard. Python. It's not a lizard. Well, technically a python is essentially a lizard with no legs. And then I used Skink on the inner portion. It's so shiny, bro. Like, these Glimmering Creatures bundles from Glaminatrix, if you like neutral singles, like this one is so good. I also added a bit of matte shadow just to kind of like anchor it a little bit, and I did use the Cheeryep Steel Heart palette, and I used this like cool toned brown down here. I kind of wish I used a warmer brown, but I think the cool tone still works. So yeah, let's finish up the eyes, and I think I was talking about decluttering, right? Yes. So yeah, Hope Mess Tom is doing their declutter series right now, and I have been watching it while playing The Sims. I also got a new PC, by the way, which I'm very happy about. It's been my life. It's been a workhorse right now, especially with, like, you know, de-stressing and all of that. I'm gonna use this shade for my inner corner. Let me find the name for Yaz. It is Gecko. Gecko is a character in Valorant that I really like playing. I also dropped this palette, like, while my camera battery was charging, and I kind of, like, smushed Gecko a little bit, so oh well. But yeah, I've been watching Hope Mess Tom's declutter series, and it's really inspired me to, like, declutter my own collection again. I feel like I decluttered my collection not that long ago, but then when I think about it, it was like the end of last year, and we're like halfway through this year. Over halfway. Oof. So I think for my next few videos, I'm gonna do like a mini declutter series. I mean, I say few. I feel like I'm going to declutter my eyeshadow palettes and just eyeshadows in general, because those are the areas that I feel like I'm a bit overwhelmed. Everything else I've really enjoyed. Like, my lip product collection, since doing that declutter last year, I have loved it so much. I mean, I have brought in a few new lip products, some in PR, some purchased, and I have really enjoyed it. I feel like my lip collection is like perfect right now. And oh, look at that shade Gecko. Isn't that so gorgeous? Such a nice, like, very neutral champagne. Does this look scream I'm going to be exercising my right to vote at the polling station? I'm pretty sure the polling station near me is a church. Does this look church ready? I feel like some of them would say casket ready, but you know, that's fine. I think we'll do this one. I think this one's called like Sparkly Black or something from Odense. So yeah, at least a couple of videos coming in the future will be me decluttering my eyeshadow collection, because it's gone to the point, like, I sat down to look at my collection just to kind of like gain some inspiration, and I was just like, man, I have so much shit. And I just feel a bit overwhelmed with it, and I get really sad when I don't use everything in my collection, you know? Like, I feel really, like, I feel like an unbelievable sense of guilt. And I don't know why. I feel like I felt permanently guilty since I was like 8 years old. Oh, and speaking of my collection and stuff, I feel really happy because I've really like been able to control my spending a lot more lately. So I'm really proud of myself. Ever since I got the vet job, I don't know if I've talked about this on YouTube, but I have actually like set out like budgets and stuff for things. Like I've budgeted like, you know, any like groceries, bills, like subscriptions, and I've even given myself like a silly purchase budget every single month. It's not that much, but like it's because I know that I will never get over my silly purchases. Like I have to have a silly purchase in order to maintain happiness. So I've given myself that budget, and honestly, it has really cut back on my spending, and I feel like an adult. Like, I feel like that's such a silly thing to be proud of. No, it's not. Like, getting control of your finances is pretty fucking cool. That's how you know you're an adult. You know, my friends and I the other day, we were talking about pensions. What do you mean we're talking about pensions? Like, a few years ago, we were fucking sitting there debating, like, if the Club Penguin membership was worth it, you know? And now we're sitting here talking about what pensions are the best. Like, how did this happen? I feel like I've become an adult overnight. It's weird. I'm now gonna use the Colourpop Blown Away creme gel liner. I can't be bothered to hold up my mirror, so I'm just gonna go over here. But yeah, man, like, I feel like I'm really in control of my finances, and I feel like I have, like, a good path to go down, especially, like, with the vets and stuff. Like, I kind of feel like I'm regaining control, which is what I really like, because I've kind of felt out of control since 2020, basically. I've also been very good in terms of getting tattoos. I've only gotten 2 tattoos this year. Last year, I think I got, like, 9 in a year, which is quite severe. But I do have one booked for the end of July. I'm gonna be getting at Chihiro's flower, like, goodbye bouquet in this area right here from the movie Spirited Away. It was the first Studio Ghibli movie I ever watched, and I just think that bouquet is gorgeous. And if you know, you know. It's gonna be one of those kind of reference tattoos. I'm using the Lottie London Super Fake Mascara now. Makeup-wise, I haven't really been super tempted with a lot of things. I have been extremely tempted by the new Blend Bunny palette, the Longing palette. I'm gonna try and dupe it. Maybe I think I'll do a video where I try and dupe it with my collection, because I am so fucking tempted. Especially because I've been getting more into cooler toned makeup looks. Like, it just looks gorgeous. And seeing my friends do looks with it, I'm just like, oh, stunning. Blend Bunny always has bangers. Like, I only have 2 palettes from them, but like, they are banging palettes. I'm trying to think of what else to update you guys on. I don't know. Oh, I'm gonna go pottery painting again with my co-workers at the end of July. I'm very excited for that. And just having more time, like, I'm kind of trying to, like, organize my time better with, like, you know, friends and, like, socializing, but also having enough time for myself and work and all of that. I feel like I've already gotten a lot better, but I still have a long way to go. But I feel very happy. I'm very content. Greg and I are doing fantastic as well. It's his birthday tomorrow when I'm filming this. Tonight I'm gonna be baking him a cake to take with me tomorrow. It's gonna be a double chocolate with vanilla buttercream frosting. Hopefully it's nice. I think by the time I upload this video, like, his birthday would have been, like, past. So I think I'll try and take a picture of it if it ends up cute. And I'm gonna be baking cupcakes for his housemates, but vegan versions, so everyone can have them. Put some pictures here. Hopefully they turn out cute. Hopefully I don't end up crying and pissing and shitting and throwing up, because I'll be honest, I love baking, right? I don't bake all the time, but when I love doing it. But I find that baking people's birthday cakes is the most stressful thing, and it's not because of the person, it's because of my own stupid brain. I think because my brain is, again, it's the OCD, being so obsessed with making sure it's perfect, and it has to be the perfect, most immaculate cake that has ever been created, and it symbolizes my love for this person, and then I end up like fucking it up. It's not even fucked up, like it's like slightly not perfect, and then I personally feel really upset that I have just failed this person. Is anybody else like that? So hopefully I will update you how the cake baking went today. I'm using the Glaminatrix like slim lipstick in the shade Joyful. These lipsticks, girl, not to be an enabler, I need a mirror, not to be an enabler, these lipsticks are fucking banging, man. They're also so skinny. Does this lipstick really suit the eye look? Not really. I could have gone for a cooler tone, but I want to wear this. This has become one of my favourite lipsticks in my collection. If not my favourite. Like, look at it, it's so cute! I will be getting the other shades of this, and Glaminatrix, if you're watching this video, please, please bring out more shades. This formula's fantastic. But yeah, this is the final look. Hang on, let me take down my hair. I also redid my hair recently. Not that this is a good example, because it is a bit fucking filthy. But I re-dyed my hair and cut it, and it's fucking lovely. It's bloody nice. But yeah, this is the completed look. It's simple, but it gives a bang. I mean, look at that. I feel weird even calling it simple, because like, look, it's like liquid metal on my eyes, and all I put was eyeshadow. Like eyeshadow and like glitter primer. And look how foiled that shit is. Stunning! The cheeks are cute. I didn't put on any highlighter because I kind of wanted all the shine to be on the balls, as per se. Why do I speak? And the lip is just so cute. I think the lip matches the cheeks, not so much the eyes. I mean, it does, but it doesn't, you know? But I don't really mind, because I think it still works, and I'm looking cute. Oh! So yeah, I am hoping that I can sit down and do some more, like, content right now, because I miss her. I miss sitting in front of this camera and just pissing around with you guys. But anyways, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I can't see. Do let me know. Oh my god, my glasses are so dirty. I'm sorry. Do let me know, how have you been recently? I would like to know. And if there are any video ideas that you'd like to see from me, let me know down in the comments, because I could do with a little bit of inspiration. If you'd like to see more makeup content from me, you can follow me on my Instagram. It's faerie.skye right here. I post all my looks there, and I'm active on there every single day. Or at least I try to be. If you'd like to support me further, I do have my own small business, Rain Cloud Candles Co. We're a small queer-owned business based in the UK, and we make handmade candles and wax melts. The link to shop will be down below, along with our social media, if you'd like to support us. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to have you here. And as always, stay safe, wash your hands, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!